we still not done with Memphis because they fired their coach and we interviewed him the other day, Taylor Jenkins. What are you thinking about Taylor Jenkins as a potential hire with the New York Knicks?
At this point, I'll take anybody, all right? It's been too long with us not for the call.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Shootaround Sessions Podcast with me, your host, Tawasi C, and my brother,
Randy B here. You know how we do it.
You know how we doing. We just getting these shots up another week. We want to shout out to everybody who subscribed to the Instagram, subscribe to the YouTube, all the followers. We appreciate y'all, all the love y'all gave us last week. We starting this thing off, so we just getting right. You know what I'm saying?
It was a great reception for the first episode. Positive feedback. Yo, I love what we're doing, yo. Let's keep it pushing.
We on and popping, man. But since we left off last week, we got to just have a little finals update because I'm still not watching the finals. I'm still not jacking it. But I think we just had game 6 last night, right?
We did have game 6 last night. And one word to describe game 6, urgency or lack thereof. OKC had a lack of urgency. The Pacers came out knowing this is do or die. And they straight up destroyed OKC last night. Destroyed them. They played like that their lives on the line. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. And OKC played like they had one more game left. What's gonna happen for next game? I don't know, because the way how Indiana beat them up, you can't call it.
So let me ask you a question, because I ain't watching, but your man Haliburton, he had 4 points the prior game. I think that was game 5. And then I don't know what he had last night, but they won, and I heard they won pretty convincingly. So how you feel like that's panning out? Like, how you feel like that looks?
I feel like he faked the injury.
You heard it here first.
I feel like he goaded them in to come after him, and he passed it out. And no, he looked great. I think Hallie shows that he has a lot of grit. And then you got guys like McConnell, who's just a beast off the bench and just holding that team together. He's the one holding that team together for this series. TJ McConnell is a beast.
Nah, that's a fact though, bro had. When TJ McConnell, I remember TJ McConnell when he was on Philly. And I forgot the team he was on before he was on Philly, but I used to play 2K, and that man would come off the bench in 2K and give me fits. And I used to be tight, like, yo, who's this guy? But also he used to give the fits, he used to get the Knicks fits every time we saw him. So
yes,
couldn't stand him. I knew he was like that. I think he's I would almost say a poor man's Peyton Pritchard. Like, they kind of remind me of each other, and they come off
very much so,
bruh. And they just give people problems. But shout outs to him. Shout out to Indiana doing their thing. I do still think it's OKC in 7. I just feel like with the lack of views that the NBA has been getting right now, because I believe this is the worst rated final series in so long. And
I've heard.
Wink, wink, is because the Knicks not in it. So, NBA, if you want to rig something, rig it the right way. But we got to take that. But at the same time, I just feel like OKC in 7. This is the new NBA where superstars flop and they wanted to go to game 7. And the NBA loves it. So I said, hey, they could do what they got to do. But I ain't tripping, man. OKC in 7. Shea gonna get his first title. And then we could be on with that and kind of move on.
I agree with you. However, if you did watch that game last night, I don't know how confident you would be saying that, because Indiana looked like they have the tools. They have the tools to beat OKC, and Indiana is showing OKC is beatable. They're showing that they're beatable. I don't know if I'm not calling the season a fluke, but they're showing that OKC is beatable.
All right. I feel you. But since we talked about my man Haliburton injury, do you feel, granted, we know he faking it, but let's say it was a real injury. Do you feel like the way he's been mocking players and doing the whole choke thing and the stuff he did, you feel like is any place for that in today's league, or my man should just kind of pump the brakes and chill a little bit?
I'm gonna have to be honest with this one. That's what makes it fun. You got to be careful now, because this day and age, a lot of dudes is getting injured a lot easier. So you can turn around and call it karma, like sit down, play the game, shut up. But no, it put it like this: if he was on New York, he'd probably be my favorite player. I
And
mean,
no shade
the,
to
the-
bro. I did want him, like, no, pause. I did want us to draft him
right?
when he was coming out the draft. I think we had picked
Yes,
Obi, and I said we needed a
yes,
point guard. Bro was nice. We should
yes.
have picked him up, but, we got Brunson now, so I ain't tripping. He
Oh
won't
no,
get
no,
me a
no,
job.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We got the best point guard in the league. I don't care.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And we had some other news too. Shout out to my West Coast people. You know who you are. No shade to them. But the Lakers have been sold for reportedly about 10 billion. No, you gotta do it like Dr. Evil. $10 billion. Nah. Lakers go down, they sell the franchise. How you feel about that and what you feel like is going on in LA?
That was crazy news when you brought that to me earlier this week. Largest sports franchise acquisition in history. Just let that settle in.
Right.
Lakers, no longer a bus family company. That's crazy. But for 10 billion, I would have sold too. I would have
Man,
sold too.
they
The
got people.
yeah, the question going forward is I know Jeannie Buss is still the governor of operations, but how long is that really gonna last? We've seen big acquisitions before, and we've seen people lose power. I mean, not just in the basketball world, but in the wrestling world and
In the
everything.
rest of the world. That's it. We see it all the time. It happens, and it's like that transitional phase of, they're still going to run things, and then within a few months, you see so much turnaround that you never even expected. But, I mean, shout out to them. The Bus family got a bag, and I think it was about time. Like, you got 10 billion. What more you really need? You got so many championships in that city, and I think it's time just to move forward and see what the new guard holds for them. But I don't know. I mean, I don't think they're gonna be Title Town no more. That's all I gotta say. That bubble might be their last thing, but much is to be seen, much is to be heard. Shout out to Luca, because whatever.
Yeah, but let me ask you this: you think this might affect LeBron resigning?
I don't know, to be honest, because I feel like LeBron wasn't there because of the Bus family and all that stuff. I feel like LeBron had his own entertainment company and the stuff that he was trying to do in LA, so that's why he wanted to set up shop in LA. So I think it's bigger than basketball with Bron. Bron just got to figure out how he want to go out, and if he want to chase a ring, he might as well come back to the East if he can. I don't know.
Yeah, listen.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I know we're talking about people making moves in the trade market. We got to talk about the Knicks kind of telling KD, we don't want your services, bro. How you feel about that?
Sound like someone was listening to the podcast last week.
That's, they heard the episode. They heard us. They said, now we got to listen to these two brothers right here. We got to listen to them because we soon going to be the number one podcast in the world. I'm just saying. But I mean, I've been said it before. We don't need him. We don't want him. We're going to have to give up a bag to get Kevin Durant. And at the end of the day, even if we did have the assets to get him, I'm petty. And I remember specifically this guy went on Hot 97 and said the Knicks are a corny franchise. When last have we won? I don't even believe those rumors are true that he even wanted to come to New York, because although he jumped on the Warriors bandwagon and got his 2 rings, I really don't see that man like reneging on his word and saying like, I want to come to New York. Could I just be wild?
So crazy enough, I'm on the flip side of that because, sports media today is saying that Knicks ownership is being petty and saying that they don't want KD on the team because everything he said. Honestly speaking, business-wise, it makes no sense. He's not signing here. It has to be a trade. All right? He's 37 years old. How much are you really willing to give up? All right? Really willing to give up to have KD come over, but the possibility is not guaranteed. I think it was a straight business and basketball decision where they were like, listen, it's too much. Go elsewhere and do what you got to do. Prove yourself elsewhere. We said it last week. We don't need it. I'm sorry. We don't need it.
We don't. And shout out to the Knicks front office for standing their guns and not even wavering after all the craziness that happened with this season this year, because, a lot of people feel like it's still a superstar league, but as you said last week, it's really not a superstar league anymore. We're not going to see the days of the big 3 and stuff like that. It's gone. So
These are
build from
done.
within. But with the trades going on, let's talk about the recent trade with my man Desmond Bane, who was recently traded to the Magic, right?
Yes, the Magic.
Yeah,
Yes.
Desmond Bane to the Magic. How you feel about that move, and what you think is going on with the Grizzlies?
Um. Well, first things first. With the Grizzlies, open up the shop. All right, open up the shop so we could gain access to to a few players.
I know where you're going. I know where
But
you're going
no,
with that.
Magic. Magic got better, and I'll say this because they got defense, they got 3-point shooting. Desmond Bane is a great 3-point shooter and a great defender, great backcourt defender. It frees up Paolo to do, to be on the run with the rebounds and heading back and everything. So I think again, Magic is a team that's slowly building right in front of our eyes, just putting pieces together to, I'm not saying win a championship, but to definitely contend in the future.
No, I agree. I definitely do agree. I felt like I watched a couple games with them over the last 2 seasons, especially Knicks games when they played the Knicks.
Right.
Paolo is a star.
Yes.
He's a talent. I mean, I never really paid attention to him coming out of college in those first few years when, COVID and lockdown season, I didn't take him serious. This last season, I saw him and I saw those Wagner boys.
Yes. Yes.
Those two boys are legit.
Yes.
And they were one piece away from being, not to say a serious contender, but now you're going to take them serious. You know what I mean? They made the playoffs the last 2 years, I believe it was, right? And they're getting bumped, but they coming up just the same way how Detroit is coming up. And you got to respect those teams. You got to respect them.
Right. And you don't need another superstar next to Paolo. You have your star and you put a surrounding cast around him, and that'll take you far. Look at OKC. They have their star and they got their pieces around them. So,
But let me ask you a question then. Do they need a veteran presence on that team? Because I don't feel like that team really got that veteran presence. Somebody like that OG kind of vet to kind of rally all those young boys together. Because you got Paolo, like I said, he's a star, but he don't know how to win yet. You got
absolutely.
You got them Wagner boys. They don't know how to win yet. You had Cole. Cole really was. I mean, you got Suggs too. We can't even forget about Jalen Suggs because he's like the light skinned version of Caruso. I feel like they look the same. Probably had the same daddy or somewhere, hairline going, all of that. But shout out to the Ball brothers. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I think they're getting in. They're getting tough, and I need the Knicks to kind of adjust, and everybody just need to be on the watch for those two teams because that's the first kind of domino that's dropping that you're going to see things start to shift.
Yep.
But then you was talking about the Grizzlies blowing it up, and it's been rumors that the Knicks are out to get Jaren Jackson Jr. How do you feel about the move, and do you think it'll even happen?
Do I think it'll happen? No. Because I don't think the Grizzlies are digging that deep in the bag to make those type of adjustments. However, if in some weird world that they that they blow up the entire team and they put Jaren up there, Jaren Jackson Jr. would be a good acquisition. I don't know if I would say great, because I'm looking at spacing on the floor. You know what I mean? Everyone likes to shoot threes and stuff like that. And I know Jaren Jackson plays down low sometimes, but now you see Cat going down low. So it's all about the spacing of your two big men. But if there's one thing, the Knicks will make it work. Jalen Brunson will have another person to lob it to off of a pick and roll. So they can make it work.
I don't know Jackson contract situation, but
That too.
I know we probably that's why it's like you're hearing a lot of these rumors about these things, but realistically, how does it look on paper? And we're not gonna get these guys for free because a lot of these guys are not free agents. You got to give up something for them, and I still see a Cat for him move. I only see Cat is the only star that we got that's disposable at the moment. But at the same time, it's like Jackson has that defense, he has that dog in him, but I don't think he's there yet. He was in a good system with Ja where he ain't have to be the number one guy. He had Bane and he could get out there and shoot. And as crazy I'm going to sound like saying this, and if y'all say I am a Knicks fan, but I'm not biased, but at the end of the day, I'd rather have Cat than Jaren Jackson Jr. And that's just my thought.
I agree with you 100%. I agree with you. I think Cat is more established. Cat is
Exactly.
more established.
More
Hey,
proven.
listen, I like Cat season this season. I like this. Listen, I was impressed. All I said was that we needed more. That's it.
That's it. So, what do you think about the rumors about Gary Trent Jr.?
That'd be a good pickup. Again, not great. These are small little pieces that can help. Nothing game changing. Nothing game changing. And again, he's it's taken him a while to again prove himself. He'll be a second he'll be a nice second ball handler, but how great is he handling the ball? The most he'll do is bring it up for Brunson, give him some rest coming up the court. But aside from that, but he will provide backcourt defense, which is definitely what we need. Which is definitely what we need.
And I think Trent is a good shooter where he does give you that range. And I feel like, not to say he's a poor man's DiVincenzo, but he's that type of mold of player where it's like he could, I would even say, come off the bench. He's not our missing piece, but when we do need somebody to knock something down, even like a Malik Beasley, who I heard he was rumored to Knicks are interested in him, but I don't know where he ended up. But even we just need one shooter that we could get just to sit out there when we need that, kick it out, bang, that real dagger three. That was missing. And shout out to DiVincenzo. This is our love letter to you, my brother. We need you back. If y'all could get that done somehow and get him back in New York.
As you say his name is coming back up in the rumor mill for the Knicks trying to reacquire him. So who knows? They might try to facilitate something, and where Katie might go to
Minnesota.
Minnesota, and DiVincenzo could be a part of a deal to come back to New York. We're trying to get him back.
Yo, if we
He's
could
on the
get
rumor
back,
mill.
if we could get back DiVincenzo, man, I would be. It would like that'd be my dream come true. I don't think he's that missing piece, but we definitely was missing what he brought to the table and what he brought to the team. 100%.
He bought 3-point shooting and he bought defense. He was another dog. He was a pretty much he's a Josh Hart that will shoot the ball.
Oh yeah. He shoot that thing all day, and that's why we here. We love him on Shootaround Sessions Podcast because he shoot that thing. He let that thing go. So
He
we
let it
love people who
go.
shoot. But we still not done with Memphis because they fired their coach and we interviewed him the other day, Taylor Jenkins. What are you thinking about Taylor Jenkins as a potential hire with the New York Knicks?
At this point, I'll take anybody. All right, it's been too long with us not having a coach. um, I think his style would be good over here. Again, somebody that'll not only sit back and let Jalen do his thing, but also run plays for everyone. Make sure everyone touches the ball. Make sure we have utilize utilize our talents, utilize what we have, accentuate the positives and hide the negatives. Somebody that will do certain things like that. You know what I mean?
And I know his style, he's a real big pick and roll guy, and I feel
Right.
like he would run more pick and roll. If we could see Brunson and Cat in the pick and roll somehow, I think that would be a major improvement for us. And I mean, he was in the West. He took a young team that was hungry, some dogs, very talented team, very far. He couldn't like seal the deal because again, they was a young, immature team. Shout out to Ja, but I feel like if they never had those injuries, and I feel like if they all could lock in, they would have made it very further, and they were a threat in the West. I think he could do something with us if we get him. Like, I just feel like we need anybody because I'm just ready to ball at this point. Like, run
Exactly.
plays and do what you got to do, like you said, and we'll be fine.
We're looking to go into summer camp just coaching ourselves right now.
That's a fact. Hey, as long as we don't hire Rick Brunson, we can keep Rick Brunson where he at. I don't need Rick Brunson to be the coach.
Absolutely.
You don't
Absolutely.
need that. But we're about a week away from the draft, few days away from the draft. And they say it's going to be Flag Day in Brooklyn. I already seen the sign over Barclays or whatever, and they got a big Cooper Flag sign saying it's Flag Day. What do you think about Cooper Flag? Overrated? You think he's going to be legit? What do you think is going to happen with this guy?
I might get killed by some Flag fans, but I think a little overrated. I don't know. I haven't seen anything special. I'm sorry. Listen, you're playing in college, all right? And they say, listen, the league, the association is 10 times faster. I'm not saying I'm not calling him a scrub, but I gotta see more. I'm sorry, and there's no knock on him. There's no knock on his game, but I haven't seen enough to say this is the next one. You know what I mean? He doesn't stand out like that for me. I'm sorry.
That's a fact. I agree with you. Like, it's definitely a hype around him. And you know, I'm anti-hype media train that they be putting on these people. And I feel like when he had that scrimmage with the USA team, that took his stock all the way. Because I never heard of him before that. Never
Right.
heard of him. Never heard of him.
Right.
I've seen the highlights, but they make Robert Ory could have a highlight reel. You know what
Exactly.
I mean? And it's one of those things, but in all reality, I do think he's talented. I don't know what's going on in not Denver, in Dallas.
In Dallas.
Dallas is a weird situation going on right now, and I don't know what day pieces look like. They talking about Dallas bringing in certain people because Kyrie not gonna be out, so they're looking for a replacement for Kyrie. I don't know what Cooper Flagg's situation look like. Like maybe he gets the ball, maybe he tries to do things, but I think personally they blowing up that team too.
That's a possibility. Listen, to be honest with you, a healthy Dallas team, 100% healthy Dallas team with Cooper Flag could be dangerous. You got AD, you got Kyrie, you got a bunch of people over there that are vets, professionals that can shoot the ball, that have championship pedigree. He will learn a lot from the vets on there, and I think that team could be deadly. But the problem with that team is health, 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 health.
Can't stay healthy. Like, you know, you picked up AD, you know, Anthony Glass. I know he could give you something when he's on the court, but
Anthony Glass.
Anthony Glass, shout out to my guy, you know? But I don't know what it's going to be. The NBA is looking very weird because even you have OKC, who's supposed to be the team of the next decade. They're supposed to run this thing, and they can't even convincingly take out the Pacers. I don't really think they're ready yet, you know? Like, you think back to our days where we had those glory teams like those Laker teams. You had those
Right.
Spurs teams. We had
Right.
real dynasties per se.
Dynasties.
And you've seen the last couple championship teams, it hasn't been that repeat. It hasn't been anybody dominant. So we don't know what's coming for the NBA, but it's going to be what it's going to be, you know?
You know who loves this? Adam Silver. He loves he loves the fact that again OKC, Indiana. I don't want to no disrespect, but these small market teams in the finals. Oh, he's loving this.
Yeah.
He's loving this. But what he needs to understand is, you want them ratings up. You need to have listen. The Knicks gotta be in the finals. Lakers gotta be in the finals. Boston gotta be in the finals. I'm sorry, because these small market teams, yeah, they're getting it up and up. Is no longer again. It can get boring, it depending on if it's your team or not. Like a team that wins 2-3 times in a row, you're like, all right, guys. But it also builds suspense, like who's gonna be the one to topple the king, who's
a
gonna be on the
fact.
top of the giant,
That's a fact.
giant. And there's no giant right now. That's the problem with the NBA. There's no giants.
That's a fact. But let's talk about a league that has giants. So we've seen, like, you know, Big Three has been going around for a couple years, and I'm a guy, I spend a lot of time on YouTube. Shout out to everybody who be on YouTube who watching this right now. You should like, comment, and subscribe to the Shootaround Sessions Podcast. You know, we here all the time, but
Episode 2.
you already know. But I say all that to say we've seen this explosion of like one-on-one games. These podcasters trying these OG NBA players talking about, oh, I could smoke this guy. We saw the game with Lance Stevenson and Michael Beasley.
Michael Beasley, right.
And that drew so many views. It was so great, they said. And I think Bees is trying to call out Melo. They're trying to throw ISO Joe in it. How you feel about the explosion of 1v1 basketball? How you feel about Melo versus Beasley? Tell me how you feel.
The explosion of 1v1 basketball, you know what? I love it. It's raw. It's raw. Like, it takes you back to like just, I wanna ball. There's no. I mean, granted, the fact there's a prize compensation for the winner, but at the end of the day, it's dudes that want to prove themselves. Michael Beasley out there want to prove himself. Like, I'm the best one-on-one guy. Can't nobody beat me one-on-one. It remind me of Monday Night Raw 1993. You know, just something different, something gritty. And the fact that they add in promos and a title belt is just different. They're stepping outside the box, and I think it is excellent. Now, one-on-one with Melo, I'm sorry, but Melo will crush him.
Melo would kill him all day.
Melo will kill him. we've seen the workout. We've seen the workout videos with Melo. We've seen the gym videos with Melo. Hoodie Melo.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different animal. We've seen the workout videos. We've seen the gym videos. Hoodie Melo is a beast. What I like is Melo is very humble, and he ain't entertaining it. But I feel like he got that killer dog in him. If you put I don't want to say the right price, but the right situation, he might step out and show these cats. But yeah, 1-on-1, I'm picking Melo. Easy.
Nah, 100%, 100%. I think to me, Melo is like on my all-time list, maybe top 3 for me personally. You know, like it's not no New York bias. It's not this. I watched Melo from Denver kill people. You know what I mean? Like animal straight out the gate, Mr. White Hat. So shout outs to Melo. And with the whole one-on-one explosion thing, I personally, I'm not a one-on-one guy. I like competition and stuff like that and seeing those things happen. And I feel like it invigorates the competition in the league again. Not really in the league, but just in basketball, because that competition factor, like you said, is gone. Guys don't want to go at guys' heads no more. Guys are just like, I'm making 300 mils, so what? Take that out of it. Like, I still need people to say, nah, I'm a kill this guy. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tear him up. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna go at his neck. And we seeing that with the big 3. We seeing that with the one-on-one basketball. Like even these dudes that's doing these open park runs. I seen Dwight Howard. I seen Mario Chalmers. I seen a whole bunch of them go and play these games. And like I said, some of them is trying to bait Melo because Melo's a Hall of Famer, like he says. So he's like, I'm not going at it with you guys because you guys ain't really on my level, respectfully. So like you said, with the humbleness, you know. But to that point, we got to close this, right? But I got to ask you this final question because your man LeBron. LeBron was on his podcast the other day with Steve Nash, and he was talking about being a one-on-one player. So with all the one-on-one basketball that's going on right now, and they saying Bron be scared of the smoke, how do you feel really about one-on-one ball, Bron ducking the smoke in one-on-one ball, and like all those things?
Hasn't Bron been ducking just competition altogether? Look how long we've been asking him to join the dunk contest. If there's any situation where Bron does not look as strong as he wants to look, he is not going to get into it. One-on-one, I think he could be a killer. Can I see him performing? Absolutely not. Just the thought. And plus, Beasley already said he done smoked him like 26 times one-on-one. I mean, that's Beasley talking.
Yeah.
But listen, he called you out. He called you out.
And that's the thing.
He straight up said, I beat you 26 times. Prove him wrong. I'll watch.
What's LeBron's response to that? Oh, basketball is 5-on-5, which I agree because when I play basketball, I'm not a one-on-one guy. I was never a 1v1. I could facilitate. Yeah, I got a teammate to pass it to. It's meant to be more players, but at the same time now, you watch competitors like Michael Jordan, who came back after retirement and smoked people just for the hell of it.
As you say, Mike, if Mike was in his prime and anybody called him out, it wouldn't be on television. It wouldn't be on YouTube. It would have been in a gym, one-on-one, and he would have prove it.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
It's that killer instinct. That's the thing that's missing from a lot of players. That I'm the best, and I'm gonna show you I'm the best.
Nah, that's a fact, bro. That's a fact. I miss it from basketball, and hopefully we get a way to come back to that and just make basketball great again. But I can tell y'all one thing that's going to be great again is when we roll out with episode 3, because episode 2 been great. But I think that's it for today. That's episode 2, Shootaround Sessions Podcast with me, Tawasi C, and my man,
Randy B.
You already know the vibes. Keep shooting, y'all. Keep getting them shots up, and we catch y'all in the next one. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok too. We got one of those, and we catch y'all in the next one.
Peace.